Anyway, could you just open up and tell us a little bit about your philosophy of playing and what you were trying to achieve as a player?
Well, my goal was to not ever be taken out of the game because I didn't like to sit. I wanted to play, and you know, I just had a lot of fun, and you know, and all that. You know, when you don't have a lot of talent, you got to do all that running around, hitting people, and jumping on the floor, and trying to impress the coach. And you never know. Good things happen if you're in the right place, you know. And the only way you can get there is to get there before the other guy. And so, you know, I have a story about Pete Maravich. I went to a basketball camp, the only one I ever went to when I was in college, in Davidson, and Lefty Driesell was the coach there. We worked there, and Bobby Cremins was there, and Charlie Scott, and Pete, and a number of other guys, and we worked there for like $40 for the whole week in June in North Carolina at Davidson, pretty hot. And Pete did a ball handling lecture for an hour and got $100. Going, I need to learn how to do that. And so I watched his lecture, and that day, the rest of the summer, I went back in my backyard in Newport and worked on all the things that Pete did. He throwing it up and catching it and the bouncing and the spinning and all the different things. And that really helped me, you know, but it was basically he just wanted to be as good at every facet of the game as possible. I didn't want to be kind of labeled as anything. And my offensive skills came along really late in life. I was basically, the only reason I got a scholarship in college was because I could rebound, and I loved to play defense, and I could, you know, play like a Dennis the Menace on the court. I just liked, you know, being very rambunctious. Then as I got in college, the scoring sort of came as I matured and such. But just to me, I didn't see that I was doing anything different. I was just playing basketball the way that I thought I wanted to play, you know, and just having a lot of fun. And in order to, you know, it always goes back to me if you're just playing in the playground or a street game. If you win, you stay. If you lose, you're out. And you're playing against people that are better than you. You got to make them at least think you're supposed to be on the court with them. And sometimes the only way you do that is to out-hustle them and do crazy stuff. You know, Bob Lanier used to say, you know, he says, I'm not really afraid of you. I just don't understand you. You're like this, you're this crazy person, and I kind of don't, you're like a snake, you know. I don't really want to get too close to you. And so that's what I wanted to put that little bit of doubt or a little bit of extra something